Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rockin' PROFOWON of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe.
And aloha Kako, this is JASOUL from Eternal Style Crew and BTR Breaking.
And you're watching Gearhdz Breakcast, the podcast or breakcast that hacks movement and culture. How's everything, Jay? It's been a while. What you been up to, dog?
I just got back into town. Went back to my second home, my third home, Las Vegas. Visited friends, family. It was hot in a different way. No surprise. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Here in Houston, I'm back in Houston right now. It's humid, hot, so you're sweating. You're getting that deep internal sweat, and thinking, oh yeah, Vegas, those guys got it easy. I went back as soon as I got off the plane. I remembered really quick that it's another type of painful pain that, or painful heat that is not pleasant at all. But it was cool, man. I got to connect with some of the homies out there from Battleborn, from Full Force. I went to the Alchemy Breaking Academy, and District Arts, which is the Full Force training. It's their dance studio, and that's where they train. It's those kids are lucky. All the younger generation that can go to an actual studio and train, and not have to heat and not have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's the conditions are perfect.
I agree, man.
Smooth floor, sound system.
Man.
I mean, all the sessions they have, you see a lot of the kids that are winning. They're smart. They're training because they have open sessions at District Arts. They're training there, and that's where a lot of the qualifiers are.
Right. So they're used to the floor already.
Yeah, home court advantage, man. Super, super smart out there.
Home field advantage is what they say, right? Or home court advantage.
Yeah, man. And Full Force is building, man. Every other time I go, they have their San Diego branch. Eddie Styles was out there for a little bit.
Yeah, John Ronan, Sean. Yeah, shout out to those guys. Ernick
wasn't there, but all those other guys. And they actually had an international guest in town that came with Eddie Styles. Her name was Auntie. She's an Italian B-girl that was one of the competitors at the World Games.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, I asked her a bunch of questions about it. She gave us some insight, which does bring us to our topic today. But before we get into that, how you been, bro?
Been good, dude. I just came from Raleigh, where my girl's at. Triple-digit weather, and I love it. Give me the heat, baby. Like, straight up, jump rope in that, punching bag. Dude, old man shit is great.
I see your cold plunge post, though.
Huh?
I seen your cold plunge post. It's still
I mean, it was okay. And I know you gave me a hard time. It's not that cold. For me. And it was 9 a.m. I'm not used to that. I didn't start taking cold showers until I got sick like a month or 2 months ago.
Bro, aren't you like 60? You guys wake up at like 4 a.m. It's in your biological like.
Yeah, I just didn't do it. I just hated it. I always been like, dude, I've always taken hot showers like since I was a kid. I never did cold. I mean, I went to the cold one time in Russia. I did the banya, and I did the jumped into like they carved the ice, right? Out there near St. Petersburg. And I did that, but that was because I was like half drunk. And like you were a bunch of guys. That's what they did, right? You're in your banya, like with the sauna, right? I guess that's Russian for banya. And then like they would have snacks and drinks. We're all getting drunk. Jump into the cold and then come back and then hit you with the stick or the branches. Something about the branches. They hit you with the branches when you're in there. So you go back and forth. And it was, but I was drunk. It was a bunch of guys. It was, hey, fuck, we're here.
What kind of
I never liked cold, huh?
What kind of a hit are you talking about?
Like a tap. Like they whip you, you with these branches, like with leaves. And I guess they're like, I don't know, like there's some type of thing where it's just, I don't know if it's tradition or medicine. Like it's something like that. So, but anyway.
Messing with you.
No, I've seen it. I've actually seen it on a documentary. So I was like, okay, it happened. Like I seen it like this Russian documentary. I was like, all right, so it's not just they're just fucking with me, right? Because I thought that shit too. Like these guys are just fucking with me. Yeah, and yeah, man, I love the heat. It was good. for me, I like, like I like that warm weather because for my joints, I open up. I felt it too. Like I felt my body opening up faster than here. So, and then the other thing is because I was training out there, when I came back here, easy, right? Because I went through that hard climate, and then when I came back to my regular climate, it was like my body was open already. Like it was just used to like that challenge. So when I came back to my regular thing, easy. So man, yeah, that's where I just came from,
What's your regular thing? Like 80?
60.
Beautiful, man. See, that's
You're like beautiful. I'm like, it's cold, bro.
That's my style right there, dude. We'll trade.
Ah, man. But you're from Hawaii. I love Hawaii weather. I love Hawaii weather. I love Vegas weather. Give me the humidity, man. I love it.
Hawaii sucks.
Huh? Hawaii sucks? Oh, man, come on now. Come on now. But, we keep talking about, like how weather and, the cold plunge helps. For me, hot weather helps. We're talking about health. So the next segment, boom, give a shout out to our sponsor, Zen World CBD. Have it right here. Jay, what can you tell us about CBD and especially Zen World?
CBD it's a versatile plant right here. I got that same cool little blue bottle that you have right here.
Yeah, the nano.
Whatever science is in it fits in this bottle, nice and convenient. Makes your body feel better. Other than that, I'll be talking science jibba jabba.
Yeah, man. Talk that shit, man. Talk that science jibba jabba, man. Talk that shit, bro.
I'm qualified. Maybe one day we'll get someone from Zen World on. One of their lab scientists. But
right.
Basically, when we move our body, we work our muscles. It gets inflamed. CBD pulls inflammation out. One of the original uses of medicinal from the cannabis, right? Not marijuana, not pakalolo. From people out there.
Pakalolo.
Yeah, it's used for medicine, and it's becoming popular again. CBD, everybody's heard of it already. We got the Freak Show Brothers; they have their own line of CBD. I've been seeing it a lot more, but yeah, this is kind of the alternative. It's non-psychoactive. That means you keep your brain power, right? Your brain sharpness, but you get the benefits of CBD and dealing with pain, recovery, which is important for performance, right? And
yep,
at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're moving to move more, to move smarter, move better. So yeah, that's all a part of it right here, man.
And I could vouch for it. I just turned 47 last week, so I could say that, hey, it helps and it works. And you can, if you go to their website, zenworld.com, and use the promo code Gearhdz, you get 15% off, saving money and helping with repair and recovery. Zen World, roll-ons, and this is the Nano Drops.
Yeah.
Please support our sponsor. Okay, so we're gonna add something a little bit different, to the show. We're gonna have a segment called Profo's Picks, and basically, I kind of give light to a B-boy or B-girl that usually won't get the exposure or the shine because maybe they make only top 16 or they made it only to top 8. Some of the best dancers sometimes don't win, maybe because they don't have the stamina, maybe they don't have the arsenal, but dope style, dope presentation, dope composition, all these things. And the person I picked for this week, and you can see from my previous Profo's Picks, you can find that on Instagram. I usually post my Profo's Picks on Instagram once a week. The person I picked is my man from Queens, New York, Pinoy brother, student of Quickstep, my man
What's up? This
Phonetic.
is Shadow Rock and PROFOWON of the Floor Gangs and Knockneck Tribe.
Where's this guy from?
Profo's
New York.
Pick is my Pinoy brother, all the way from Queens, New York, representing Full Circle. We got my man, B-Boy Phonetic. The thing about Phonetic is that he's a well-rounded B-boy. And of course, he comes from a great lineage, which is Full Circle. Shout out to Quickstep and Rockefeller. Give him a follow. What's up?
Yeah,
This is Charlotte.
that was Phonetic from Full Circle. Giving a shout out to Queens, New York, and my Pinoy brother. He took me out there to Queens, and he was like, "Yo, you got to have this Longanisa out here." It's like, "There's Longanisa in New York." So I'm gonna give him a shout out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, yes, he carries that quick step style.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man.
Was
Yeah, that's
his
what's
mentor?
dope.
He comes from that
Yeah.
camp. The quick step camp?
Yep.
I seen that the backspin to course, dope
to
classic.
the Hurricane. Yeah, man. Really dope guy too. Give him a follow. Flonetic. All right. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna go to the main subject today. And the main subject is what just happened was the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama. World Games 2022. Now, if you're asking, okay, what's so special about that? Well, the whole thing is because they had breaking at the World Games. They had it last time too, but as we're getting closer to the 2024 Olympics in Paris, this was a monumental event for breaking. Now, Jay, any opinions before we keep moving on to, or what do you guys say about the World Games before I get into my little spiel?
Oh, yeah, just kind of touching on what you just said right there. So the World Games is a Olympic sanctioned event that, it does serve as somewhat of a preview or a trial to how the Olympics is going to look and going to work. So they work out the kinks and all that stuff. But everything, I watched a little bit of it. I know, or I heard it was broadcasted on the Olympic website.
Yeah.
But everything I seen and everything I know about it was from the Breaking for Gold USA page, which had some pretty interesting commentary throughout the whole thing. And then I heard from other prominent figures as well, including one of the girls that was a competitor, that Italian girl that I met at session a couple days ago in Vegas, B-girl Auntie. But yeah, other than that, like that's pretty much the setup from it. And what I heard about this right here, some of the discussions about the importance of it leading up to what happened, it taking place, is how well this was going to do was going to determine how seriously it was going to be taken in the actual Olympics. And mainly, nobody was talking about it. Nobody was. The only thing nobody was posting about it, like, hey, look, the World Games. This is what it is. This is what it means. No one was giving that narrative to it and raising awareness about it. All I heard was, hey, Victor's doing it, Jeffro's doing it, Sonny's doing it, Morris is doing it, and that's it. They didn't talk about what it was and how it was important. And I think if we are to educate and raise awareness to it, which needs to be done within the culture and the community, those kind of things need to be spoken about, right?
Yeah, I think everyone's doing the best that they can, as far as the promotion. From what I know of it, what I know is that USA won. And so I'm going to bring up a few things why it was so important, even though not everyone was aware of it. Like, of course, like I think B-Boy Network kind of covered it. I know that there was a different production that it wasn't like necessarily the Pro Breaking Tour. Like usually it's the Pro Breaking Tour that takes care of the production of it. I think it was in-house as far as the World Games Council. So they relied a lot of the in-house kind of setup and production. But I will say why it was important. That's why you didn't see it so much promoted, because I think a lot of the in-house stuff didn't pay for the media. They had their own in-house media versus if Stance was there, if B-Boy Network was there, because the whole Pro Breaking Tour, they would usually pay for a B-Boy Network to be there or a Stance to be there. They would actually pay the videographers. This time they didn't. So it was all in-house self-promotion for the Olympic channel online or whatnot. That's why we didn't get a hold of it, because the funding wasn't for us. If it, like I said, if it was Steve grabbing them.
Are you talking about the content itself, like the battles, footage of the battles, or are you talking about the marketing and awareness of what was going down?
Yeah, usually if it was, let's say, Pro Breaking Tour, we would definitely, it would be more promoted because they would have paid for Stance to cover it, and of course Stance is going to promote it, or B-Boy Network. So none of us from our grassroots, you know, productions like Strife, Stance, B-Boy Network were paid to go. Usually they are, right? No one from those channels pay their own way. But for this one, if they want to attend, they would have to pay their own way. So that's why we didn't hear from it from on our side of it. But as far as the Olympics, yeah, they were covering it. For instance, Sunny was an NPR. She did promotions for the Olympic Channel, you know, stuff like that. So on that scale, that side was covered. For our own side, not so much. You know what I mean? But again, it was important because, for instance, Nike sponsored the team this year. So they got Nike. So I think they paid for most of the trips to go there was through Nike. You know what I mean? So that's a win.
They gave more than clothes. They gave like actual funding.
Yeah, I believe they gave funding for the athletes. Only the athletes, not the coaches that attended. Not for Breaking for Gold. So Breaking for Gold actually paid their own way too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the job of Breaking for Gold is, and the fact that they're doing what they're doing is incredible already. So, you know, not to knock anybody down, but they were there. So, you know, somebody knew exactly what was going on, knew the organization, knew the structure, knew the importance, and nobody was like, hey, this is the organization, this is the structure, and this is the importance. I didn't hear no one talking about that.
I think right now it's still, like, to be honest, right? And I'm not gonna put all the business out there because that's just not what I'm gonna do. I think we're still trying to find an infrastructure how to run things, right? So I think right now it's a work in progress as far as Breaking for Gold. I think that's one of the things right now, but it's the only structure that we've had in the past year and a half that's solid, right? Where we had qualifiers. You know, they actually had events from starting in Vegas, and then they had Arizona, then they had Florida and New York and Texas. I think that's the closest thing we had where they actually were able to produce a competition to at least keep on track who has the most wins and who's attended the most events, and then from there kind of judge who's going to represent the world team, the USA team. It's not written in stone, guys. I just want to let you guys know. It's not written in stone. Just because you win a bunch of Breaking for Gold doesn't make, and rank high doesn't make you automatically on the USA team. That's still being determined. But at least it gives an organization and a record of has the most points. I know that sounds very confusing, but at least there's something like that now, right? Before it didn't exist. And we were offered this 3-4 years ago. And it took 2 years for it to kind of come to fruition, versus somewhere like Germany. Germany, they have a state team and a country team, and they have meetings every month. They have training. They have 2 training facilities. Each state has a training facility and meetings every month to train together.
That sounds organized.
Yeah. So we're still trying to create it. That's the truth of it, right? That's just the truth of it, because
Europe is bigger brother to US in every sense. You know what I mean?
In that sense, yeah, for sure. In that sense, for sure. You know what I mean? So, but the great thing is we got gold. We got gold, silver in the men's division, and we got a silver in the women's division. What does that mean? The thing is, people are like, well, there's not enough people, like, you know, in Europe. You'll go to the Europe qualifier. There's way more people, and that's better. No, we needed it here, and we needed Nike to watch it. Why? Well, first of all, sold out event. Sold out event. I mean, there was a few other things that were sold out, but breaking was one of the selling out events. Why is that important? Because these people that are at Birmingham, Alabama have no idea what breaking is. None of the vocabulary. Their only reference is TV in the 80s. So for them to be, we needed that win. We needed someone from the USA to win gold and have that audience witness it, with Nike witnessing all of that together. Because that means they're definitely gonna have their foot in to want to sponsor the USA team. Yeah. What do you think?
Your volume went down a little bit. I don't know if it's a sound thing. Just a heads up on that.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool that Nike got involved. I mean, that seems like a new corporate presence, right? Because you look at the history of hip hop, Adidas, Puma, right? They were kind of some of the first major ones. Right. More recently, we have Red Bull and Monster. Right. Any word on kind of like their involvement in what was going on, or?
I think Red Bull and Monster helped their own athletes as much as they could, you know, depending on their contracts. Like Victor's already a BC1 All-Star, so he already has a solid contract. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting paid no matter what. Maybe if he asks for extra, you know, request, maybe they can supply it. Same for Jeffro, who's a Monster Energy. So I'm sure there's like, I don't know what the contract is. So I'm sure for every athlete that's under those sponsorships, they got something special just because they knew that this was a thing. And I'm sure after this and the reaction and the fact that it was on the Olympic channel on online, those are all things that are going to help. Okay, well, we're going to put in more money for you guys. You know what I mean? And maybe this is going to be more serious. And we needed it to do it in America. And this is very important what I say, because America still runs trends. That's why it's important. Didn't matter if there was like, you know, not, you know, in a European environment, it would be, you know, like 10,000 people in those stands, right? But it wouldn't shape American culture. We needed whoever was there to sell out, and they don't be totally ignorant to what the definition of breaking is, all the vocabulary, all the history. For those people to be ignorant and still love it and cheer for it and say USA, that is going to help us here, and not just in, you know, the people that are competing. You know, all ships rise when the tide comes in, and we needed that tide. That's one of the steps that's going to help all of us. If you want to, like, if you want to, you know, pursue it, breaking as a career. So we needed that. We needed a corporate sponsor outside of an energy drink, where we actually wear their clothes. You know what I mean? To sponsor it. You know what I'm saying?
What's your take on some of the native brands and the native companies within our culture? As far as, because, you know, one of the things I heard from B-Girl Auntie, this Italian B-Girl who was a competitor, right? They didn't feed them at the jams, and they were there for like 12 to 14 hours. You know, I don't know whose side that was on. Breaking for Gold USA was there. Well, who I understand they're organizing the athletes and the, you know, the competitions and everything on that end, to the World Games themselves, the individual sponsors. Like, man, can we get a Chipotle to sponsor this? Can we get, you know what I mean?
I think the main thing is, well, here's the reality of most of these events. It's worse than local events. Bigger exposure, worse treatment of athletes. I'm just going to put myself out there because there are separate things going on. And again, if they paid attention to these things, like, you know, in skeet shooting, which is an Olympic event, they're not getting anything. They're getting that gold, but they're not getting anything. So this is game for you guys that are interested in pursuing this as a career. Get a individual sponsor that will pay for that. Do not rely on the promoter. Do not rely on what's supposed to be what you're given. If you have a solid sponsor already that's paying you in cash, make sure this is in your rider. Make sure it's in your rider. This is where, like, we have to learn how to be businnesmen.
Because you out to Chipotle, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm reaching out to Chipotle is all I'm saying, man.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, the problem is a lot of people don't understand the business side, and the business side will be like, you don't have, like, if you sign that contract and you don't put in requests, and this is not about being a diva. you ask the budget. You ask what's going on, what's allowed, and like, is there going to be per diem or not? And if there is going to be per diem, like, there's all these little things. Are you paying for that flight, or are you guys only paying for the flight and the stay? These are the little things. And then you might have to get 2 more other sponsors to do that, to pay for your food. So there's a way. So you have to be you have to think of multi-stream when you are a professional B-boy, B-girl. You can't just rely on one thing. You got to have backup plans. That means you either have a manager that knows how to talk to people. So if we're talking smaller brands, okay, this smaller brand, I wear this on that stage, they're paying for my food. I wear the Nike shoes are paying for this, and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be really smart. And some B-boys, like, B-girls are like, well, why do I have to do that? Because we're not at 6 figures yet. Until we sign a 6-figure contract, it's still grassroots, even if we get the exposure of 10 million people watching. Until we sign a 6-figure deal, we still ain't shit.
World Hunger Games 2022. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about, like, you know, what I just said? I said some kind of harsh things that people don't want. Like, why do I have to? I'm the artist. Why do I have to do this? What's your opinions about that?
I don't think that's it. I just think that there's enough outsiders, aka non-competitors, that are there, that are overseeing, that are in a position of organization. That, yeah, I think that would be should be on the top of the list, is to make sure that they're eating. I think that's a bare essential. They're not asking for a gold Rolex. They're not asking for, you know, these different things, like you said. None of these ridiculous, like, diva things that are put in, you know, typical writers for people who are on, you know, with that mindset. It's the basics, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they gave them water, I hope. You know, but throw them a Snickers, man. You know, throw them some kind of a throw them a granola bar, man. Let's feed these people.
I agree, but like I said, I think that, you know, it's not just in the World Games. It's not just breaking that happened to. I think that happened to all the sports, in my opinion, unless it was a big sport where the sponsor was already providing those things, not the event, but the sponsors of the event. You know, and it's, I think, you know, honestly, it's going to be a lesson learned. You know, it's a trial error. This is the first time we're putting this together, and that's the thing. We're going to be stumbling and falling a lot. I think it's a lot. Honestly, I in my opinion, it's going to be a lot of clunky things going on for a while until like, you know, we understand what it is, right? And, you know, it's just like any. That's why government is hard. You know what I mean? Government is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just whatever organization is hard unless you've been there. You've done the reps of doing it over and over again. And this is the first, like, even though like logistics won the last World Games, this is the first time where it's like there's actually organization. So I think we have to put that into consideration.
Do you think it'd be valuable to get a promoter with experience in there? Like, oh, okay, hey, scheduling here. I heard it was 12 to 14 hours, which is long for any type of competition.
Yeah.
I don't know how it went down. I'd love to hear your take. I'm still unclear on what a round robin is and all that. And could you break that down on the time?
It's a circular like type thing. You basically battle everyone till you get the highest points, and then the highest points gets to the top 8.
So it's a bracket like this that goes in, that works in. I feel like I mean, people post.
It's like they do it in basketball, which is round robin. You win the most battles, right? And then from that, then you get your final result that we're used to, and then to the finals, or which is like still. I'm still trying. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out. But this is what happened. These guys had to hit. All I know is that these athletes did 20 rounds each, at least that day.
Woo!
Yeah,
they did their work.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did their work.
Get my man's and my woman's a granola bar, man.
So here's my thing, and this is gonna be brutal, right? And I had a conversation with someone recently. We still are bitches, bro. We gotta be bitch. Gotta be bitch. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by being bitch? We're second-class citizens from the get, and we have to over-deliver to get the respect that we want. And that over-delivery might not feel worth it. If I was a promoter if I was a promoter, because I don't think promoters think like this either. I'm just saying if I was a promoter now, knowing this information now, not what I assume, because I'm sure no one saw in the contract that World Games is not providing any food for any of the athletes. I don't think anyone thought about that. You know what I mean? I really don't think anyone thought about that. They're just excited to be there. All right, let's go. You know, if I was there and this occasion happened, I'm coming. If I have the money, I'm coming out of pocket.
Yeah,
I'm taking the hit.
I'm doing a GoFundMe before next year. The next one, hey, for the athletes, food.
That's a good idea.
Let's
That's
go
a good idea.
Them. I would have put 20 in.
That's a good idea. I would even be like even more like I'm just gonna pay for it because they're representing of us.
Let's do a can drive, man.
I'm just gonna put it in there. But yeah, man, like actually people do that. People do that for their athletic, for the Olympic path. They do that. I've seen it. I've seen it where slalom. This guy, there was this documentary called Choke, Rickson Gracie's documentary, and the fighter in it, he wasn't even a fighter. He was into the slalom, and the only reason why he fought is because he got a lot of money from fighting to support his Olympic career for slalom, for the ice thing. So it's like it's not new. This has been happening. You know what I mean? This has been the case with the Olympics. But again, it's the exposure and like how many people are watching, because there was a lot of people at the Olympic game opening. Like that stadium was filled. You know what I'm saying? And that's more people, more eyes on the attention of what the hell is breaking. Is it as hype as everyone says? And it sold out. And it was a good reaction. So it's like, we appreciate the sacrifice, USA, and anyone that was out there that didn't eat for 12 hours, appreciate the sacrifice for us, right? You're doing this so we could eat. You didn't eat so we could eat eventually, like in the next few years.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Those competitors, man, all of them. Who were they, by the way? Before we get into
so the USA team was Morris, Levix, Victor, Jeffro, and Sonny. That was the five. I believe they used the Viltrum system. I'm pretty sure that they did. I believe they used the Viltrum system for the judging. I know. Well, I'm not sure of all the judges. We could watch when we watch the video and react to it. We'll see.
We could have nurtured and fostered the digestive system, but go on.
What do you mean?
We could have fed the artist, but go on.
Oh, we're still on that. We're still on that.
Bad joke.
I'm just saying, man. Like everyone thinks it's this thing, and it's not. You know what I mean? The universal thing that I keep hearing, and this is all across the board in any art form, music, athletics, the creme de la creme is like an NBA, an NFL. Even UFC, I don't hear it's fucking justified for the athletes. You know what I mean? Even UFC, I don't think it's like. I think the creme de la creme is like what we just talked about, like NBA, NFL. I think that's the creme de la creme, best treatment of their athletes. Every sport is this thing. It's the same thing. We think because of the money that we're getting from it's not. It's just not. And it's just funny how people think that. It's like, nope. I think Michael Phelps is the only one making money out of that swimming thing. Why? Because Wheaties is giving him money. No one else is giving it. No one else is giving second place, third place money. They probably went on their own dime. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Until we create an infrastructure like that, and even UFC, which is a mighty infrastructure, still those guys are not getting paid enough. Those athletes are getting their brains bashed in.
A little better than the Olympians. That's why you get a lot of the Olympic wrestlers transitioning into UFC because they're trying. Got skill. They're like, okay, so how can I, parlay this into some money?
Yeah, watch Foxcatcher. You ever see that movie Foxcatcher?
I've seen Fox and the Hound.
Foxcatcher is about this wrestling, this guy that invested a lot of money into wrestling. Then he ended up shooting the head coach, this rich guy from DuPont.
This is a real story?
Real story.
Yeah.
because there's no money in wrestling. This rich guy, a billionaire, basically create a whole facility and everything in Philadelphia too, right next to like actually, you know, some of the stuff with us. And he actually went crazy and shot the head coach and died. And there's a whole drama about it. They made a whole movie about it, but it was like because there was no money in wrestling, so they were forced to take this opportunity. And this one guy was supporting the USA wrestling team. It was crazy, crazy story. But that's how much there's no money in the Olympics.
Yeah.
These are Olympic winners, you know what I mean? Like champions and consecutive champions every 4 years, and they still don't got money. And these are gold medalists. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just breaking. The thing is, what the idea is, you have to get attention of a sponsor. That's where the money is. Sponsorship, not just flown clothes. We're talking like 6-figure contracts.
Yeah.
And we're not there yet. We're nowhere near there.
It's on its way.
Hopefully.
And everything you said about it was, was the plus sides about it.
Exactly.
Do you know any of the other competitors aside from the U.S. team? Do you know any of the international Shige Kicks?
Shige Kicks, Jilu, Hat Solo was there.
Competing?
I think so. Who else was there? The guy from Spain or Italy, I forgot his name. Zom. I forgot. I can't pronounce his name. Luan from Brazil, he was there.
Where's Russia? I wonder. Where are all these like real like hard?
Oh, Amir. I think Amir was there. Red Bull winner last year. I think he was there. I believe he was there. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty impressive that actually US got gold. You know what I mean? It was high caliber. It was a high caliber competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as B girls like Ami, Ayumi, like, you know what I mean? Like Jilu, like, those are names. Those are well-tested people that gone far in competition. And Sunny got gold. So I think that's a feat itself. That's something that to give props to, because these B girls aren't easy to beat either. You know what I mean? So it was dope.
Is Sunny American? Yeah,
New York.
Born and raised? Is she American?
Yeah. Born and raised, yeah.
Man, I'm just been out of the loop, man. I've never heard of her until like this past year, to be honest, man.
Come on, man.
What happened to
this is our jobs, bro.
I know.
It's our jobs to be in the know. Yeah,
I'm
Sunny.
the Honey Rockwell Angel one. You know what I mean? Like,
the new B girls coming up are dope. You see them in the Breaking for Gold qualifiers. Snap, Levix, Sunny, Pepsi. Maka's judging, so she's not battling as much in the Breaking for Gold. These are the girls, man. And then you have upcoming girls that are coming up. They're still in the kids category, but they're coming up. I think you taught one of them at District. What's her name? I forgot her name. She's from LA. From LA.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What's her name? I forgot her name. Sorry.
Mia Flo,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. There's this new crop, right? And yeah, the girl from Battleborn, but she's over 18 already, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So there's a new crop of B girls coming out and think about this. This is what the crazy part. Here's a question for the audience, for the gearheads out there. Would there be as many B girls in breaking if there never was a B girl category? Do you think there's more B girls now because they start to separate the categories? So that's a question for you guys. You can answer in the comments. I don't think there would be. I think there's more B girls because they separated the category. Because remember that one year that BC1 happened, Ayumi was actually competing with the guys.
Yeah.
And she was like the first B girl to compete with the guys.
Yeah, I think not many will step up and be brave to do that. It allowed the feminine identity to kind of hold its space within hip hop and
I think that's great. At first, it was like, what's the difference? Who cares? Well, it made more women less fearful of joining.
Yeah,
because now they have a chance. Do you know what I mean?
You look at the NBA, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but the difference is like you can still. What's still dope is that a B girl could still enter like competitions without the category. You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
they could still enter, which is dope. I think that's dope.
And that's coming in the future, and it's already been happening, like you said.
Yeah.
These B girls are taking out B boys, and
Yep.
they're doing so with style.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. B girls, I feel like, in my opinion, are better at receiving coaching than guys are. You know.
They're more intelligent. They're more
Yeah.
emotionally and intuitively intelligent.
Yeah.
In that
I agree.
sense, the man wants to slam a hammer. He wants to, you know what I mean? He wants to throw a spear in whatever metaphorical form with the body as it relates to breaking and movement, you know, within our foundations, right? We're heathens. We want to move fast, and we want to establish our dominance.
I think, and that's the word that I was waiting for. The dominance hierarchy in men. So coaches get shit because the athletes are still like testing the coaches. I run into it all the time. Shout out to my clients out there, but you guys are fucking assholes.
That's another form of intelligence or questioning things. You know what I mean? There's a time and place to do it, for sure.
Exactly, and that's the thing that we all learn in this relationship is that time. Yeah. They didn't know that there was such thing as time and place because I front everyone. All right, good luck with that, buddy. Good luck with that. It's funny, and this is some personal shit, but it's funny because then it's like, you know what, man? You're right. Oh, the thing I told you 3 years ago, you're listening to me now? Whatever.
Yeah.
I predict a lot of things. I'll just say that. Okay, so let's react to some of these battles. You know what I'm saying? USA, 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 USA. Okay. All right. So the first up, let's watch the B girls.
I'm cheering for integral styles, man. I'm not biased to a country or any, you know, with any national.
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But the reason why we say USA is because we need the money.
We need the
money. We need money. Give us money. Give me money. Give me money. We need the money.
You buy now.
You buy now. We need the money because that's what's going to help us get to these levels. And the more money that we can put in.
Speaking of which, zinworld.com, 10% off. You buy now.
You buy now. You buy now. Anyway, give me money. Give me money. Okay, up first, we're going to have Quincy versus Sunny. The B girls bronze and gold qualify, or bronze and silver battle. Let's do this. Press play. Or let's do that. We're gonna do this. Boom. So we're gonna watch this battle. China.
So
China versus USA.
USA. So
USA.
If this is the final, you're telling me they're like 18 rounds deep before this. They're like,
oh yeah, yes,
15 plus rounds.
rounds.
Okay.
China, 16 years old.
I've never seen that from the back, bro. The missile from the back.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
16 years old. If you've seen her on Instagram.
Yeah, to execute. I've never heard of this girl.
Yeah, she's crazy, bro.
I'm a jackwagon.
China's actually stepping up in their composition, in my opinion. All right. Sunny.
Nice.
USA. New York. New York in the house. One advantage is her stage presence. All right, nice transition. She's definitely stepped up as far as material.
Super dynamic transition, bro. From the freeze down. That's next level. A lot of people won't get to that level when they're, especially from the air freeze. Nice. To be able to transition down. It is a newer thing when people German out of the air, but that was a different twist on it. I like it.
Who do you think won that last round, Jay?
There's a little more style development on the left. I'll give it to her. Dynamics-wise, the girl was good. Yeah, I'll give that to the left. I'll give that to Sunny.
Yeah. Ooh, foot grab flare. Munch mill.
Skill-wise, she's doing it, but for her to compete against a developed style like Sunny, she needs to be musical with her text right there. Because it's not very, very nuanced or detailed, right? The text that she's laying down. So you at least need to be musical. You need context to be on your side.
Right.
Sunny is, she has a developed style.
Oh, wow. Flare, planche, flare?
She did a little hand walk. I don't know if that was accident, but that was dope.
Yeah.
Boom.
Timing?
Yep. Phrasing.
She's fishing. She's fishing.
Fishing, but simple. She kept it contextual. Kept her phrasing good.
All right, so let's right before they announce it, let's look at those. Let's look at the judges. I think it's Steve in there from Knuckleheads.
I know Steve was a judge.
I see Katsu.
Okay.
I see Bojin.
Speaking of Katsu, hold on. Let me interrupt, bro. With all due respect. Speaking of Katsu, how are they not going to feed the athletes, but they got 10 goddamn judges up on that panel? I know they paid for them. If they got paid to go out there and they didn't, let's get some Katsu for my athletes out here, man. As you were.
China versus USA for bronze and silver.
Oh, yo, China got the first round?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Renegade. I see Renegade in there.
Yeah, so read the judges real quick, if you don't mind. So pause it real quick. So who we got up there? Because this is important right here. Let's.
Okay, so it looks like Katsu.
Okay.
Renegade. Steve.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Bojin for Taiwan. I'm not sure.
Where's Katsu on here? Is he on the far left? I can barely see. Who did Katsu vote for on the first round? But I'm saying look up on the grid up top.
There you go. There's my bad. I was looking at the judges. Okay. I was looking at faces, I wasn't reading it. Thanks. Bro, so Octopus from Korea. Extremo from Italy. Katsu from Japan.
Oh, okay.
Valentine, I don't know where she's from. I'm assuming France.
Okay.
Renegade from UK. Kim, not sure. Hefo, not sure. Sorry, Steve.
Yo, so let's look at that real quick. Look who voted for Sunny, right? On that first round. Katsu,
Steve, American.
Okay.
Korea and Japan.
Interesting. Okay.
Why?
No. I mean, everything I just said, throughout, I just wanted to give.
Well, okay, it's good you're pointing this out. Octopus, detailed oriented breaker, b-boy. Katsu, traditionalist.
What crew does Katsu rep? Is he at MZK? Is he?
Yeah, he's MZK, all area, ready to rock.
Okay.
Yeah. So details are reflective. I don't know about Steve. You know Steve more personally than I do. But if you know his detailed-oriented b-boys, gave it to Sunny.
Steve is a student. He's a student of the game. He excels at power moves, and he's a performer in his own right. Being in the Jabberwockies for a bunch of years and helping them build for a bunch of years. Yeah. Steve, I could have seen probably voting either way, but again, I know he is a student of the dance in a lot of forms, and he runs his camp Zoologic as well. So with that, I know they study deep, and there's a different level of understanding when you start teaching people, right?
Yeah.
I'm impressed that Steve voted for Sunny in that. I'm impressed.
I think the performance aspect of being part of Jabberwockies probably helped that. It swayed his vote.
But Stevie's a big move guy too, so you know, homegirl on the right had some moves.
But he understands performance though. He understands stage presence.
Yeah. We're talking hierarchy of value, right? Right now.
Yep.
The dance. And you said they're using the Trivium system?
I believe they are. I'm not sure. But I believe they are.
So speaking of Katsu, I'm saying they have 10 judges up there. Yo, let's get some granola bars and some bananas and some apples.
9 judges, dude. 9.
I can't count, but yeah, I can
All
sure
right, let's see this
empathize.
next vote. It's gonna tie. I already know it's tied because they go to the tiebreaker, but I just want to see the votes. Let's see the votes after that.
Oh, so they go one more round?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fast forward it, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Now. Fast forward it now.
Oh, so she goes first. Good strategy, because she went out last. Ooh.
Oh, dope setup, but yeah.
Yeah. Back handspring headspin. That was dope.
That's the thing about going first. Oh, I love this right there. This is a CC variation. What she did right there, the switch and the quick hand upper body switch, but she's doing it inverted. So that back bridge little kick she does. That's such a dope move, man.
Yeah, man. That right there. I gotta pause it. That was whack. That whole
Rewind
top,
it.
That whole thing.
Rewind it.
I'm sorry because it looks so amateur. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I usually let people ride.
Yeah, we just had a whole
look how like she doesn't know what she's doing. Sweep, and I'm gonna dance, and then I'm kind of dancing. Then it's my turn. No context, no depth in what she's trying to explain. She's just like fishing. See, B-boys and B-girls, gearheads, know that if you do something like that, that could affect the outcome of the battle.
Oh!
Wow. That was garbage. This is where her athletics doesn't shine.
I thought you got that.
A whole new round? Oh, okay.
Hey, what I seen up top, I get what you're saying. And me and you, we go back and forth about this, right? Experience and actual like substance, right? She was saying, I don't give a F about you, but had no substance to back it up. Is that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah, it was a bad burn. It had no direction. There was no storytelling. It was rushed. That was crazy. She did a fan to flare, though. That was insane.
Twice.
Yeah.
But who's counting, right?
At this point, after 20, this is their 20th round. Ooh.
Is that on beat or no?
Ugh. She looks like she's fishing, bro. She is fishing. Meaning like she's not being committal. Oof.
I mean, her phrasing's on. Her positional clarity. I mean, she's not like really.
Ooh, she's fishing, bro. Oh, she's fishing. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
I feel like you're fishing for.
I'm sorry. Oh, damn. They do another tiebreaker.
Oh, we're 30 rounds in. Oh. Yo.
This is fight or flight. You felt this before, Jay. You felt this before. Remember when we trained? Where it's like fight or flight. There's no thinking anymore. Ooh, a rum. Okay.
She did 3 variations of that.
Yeah.
Oh, she answered with the German, the air push off German.
Oh, she's lost, dude.
How's she lost?
That tap. You didn't see that mess up?
Oh, she did. Yeah.
You didn't see the transition?
She did. She's repeating that halo to pencil. Here's the thing about the pencil. The pencil can be. The formations can lead to 20 other leg positions. It's just
that was bad, bro.
Lack of foundation is what we see right there.
Yeah.
In that last round, that's where a good foundation will take you.
100. I agree. Let's go to the scoring. She's 16 though. I gotta give her props. She got to bronze, right? Like.
Yo, give my girl a hairband on the right on the picture, man. Can we give her? I mean, get her a Nike headband, man. We just did some head spins right before that picture.
Good stuff. Let's look at the judges.
Yo, the USA, the Breaking for Gold USA Instagram during the thing was vocal.
Yeah.
On a very personal level, man. It was
Yeah,
interesting. I'll leave it at that right there.
yeah. What'd you think of that battle? That's the first time you've seen her from China. I can't pronounce her name. Sorry about that. 16 years old.
I think in a year she's gonna be better than Sunny, but I'm just making a bold prediction right now, just being bold.
I say depending on who's coaching her.
Well, let's reach out. Beat around the bush. What would you coach her on, bro? What would you coach her on?
The culture.
Burn. Okay, what hip hop? Where'd you start? Some Rakim?
No,
Some KRS-One?
I would start with Charlie Rock. I would start with the music, the Charlie Rock, the eras, the styles.
Would Charlie Rock make her do moves in a closet? You know what I mean? He'd do some Miyagi stuff, wouldn't he?
I would be like, listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, listen to James Brown, and really listen to it. And I want a dissertation from you in English.
Oh man,
that's what I would make her do. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Gearhead shit. I'll make her do a dissertation on English about soul music. Where is it from? Give me the influences. That's gonna change her moves real quick. It'll be lived in. It'll be lived in. Then you really understand the music and culture.
Well,
that's how deep I go anyway, man. If I were the coach, I'm making people do homework, man.
It almost seems like it's your duty to reach out to her. That you have to reach out to her and tell her, hey.
You know why? You know I won't?
Why?
USA.
Bro, that's what's wrong with humanity.
I gotta go those secrets to our team, boy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it depends. If she asks, of course. If she asks, like, let's say they, on an individual level, they ask, of course. I'm not just gonna be like, I'm not gonna just be like, here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna be like, here. Actually, dude, she could just watch this and be like, oh wow, I have to really do that. I'm telling you, you will get better. You will get better.
All right. So what about Sunny? What could she work on?
All right, for Sunny, damn, we're putting it out there, huh? We're giving coaching for free. Okay.
Bro.
For Sunny, I would say context would be very beneficial for Sunny.
Well, so what? What do you mean by that? Because that could mean a lot of different contexts. What do you mean? Like she's on a stage.
Why do we do the happy feet dance? Where is it from? What period of dance style did that come in? The happy feet comes from the mashed potato. Who did the mashed potato? Who created the mashed potato? What music was going on in the mashed potato? This is just top.
Huh? How do you put garlic in the mashed potatoes? Like how do you add your flavor to it? I get what you're saying, but
the mashed potato dance. The mashed potato dance.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Because then if she learns context of movement, hey, you did that illusion sweep that was first by actual first force, that was Kareem Baruch, that storm god. Then you can start linking the moves together and the styles together and what the purpose of the moves were. Like, did you know that when Kareem Baruch made up the cat style, they were watching this Rocksteady documentary that France only had hold of, and they were practiced at Châtelet where the floor was really smooth. So the reason why they came up with what he came up with that was the sweepy thing, because they did power one way and their footwork went the other way, so they needed a transition for that. And from there, Storm took that going to Châtelet and it created the pretzel pattern.
I'm impressed.
These type of contexts of style will help define the movements better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that. 100%. I'm impressed by the way you're pronouncing the French words too. And my follow up to that is, did you know that French fries aren't really from France?
Yes, I knew that.
They're from Greece.
I knew that they weren't from France. I thought they're from America, but they're French fried. That's why. But well, anyway, so that's why I would give for Sunny is that if just in context wise, right? It seems like her stamina is okay. then I would make her. I would expand her on the vocabulary and of the compositions of, okay, learn these different styles. Let me see you do it. If I ask her, do Easy Rock right now, do it. Do Crazy Legs right now, do it. Do Kenny right now, do it.
So basically, the Happy Feet dance, when you say it was out of context, she was arbitrarily doing it to add dance
to fill it in. Yes, to fill it in. To fill in
that's the all too common thing now, isn't it?
Yep.
What if that could be a mechanical movement pattern done differently to the music? I mean, it was kind of on beat.
It was on beat, but there's no context. You know what I'm saying? To me, there's no depth in the movement. You're just doing it to do it. And I'm very big about don't do things just to do things.
Yeah. This is segueing into our 2000s episode coming up, right?
I can't blame them. They're young. They're not my age. They didn't do half of these dances.
We're not blaming them.
Just saying. But the biggest reason is that. You know what I mean? To me, the biggest reason is that. Because even the guys that are younger than me don't even know how to do that. The guys that are 45, 44 that don't know how to do that.
So that's what I'm saying. Even the Rocksteady that Florida popularized, the Rocksteady gainer back handspring. When we had to talk about that, same thing about that, man. Like, what's the context to it?
Yeah,
and they're doing.
Dude, I agree. Don't think I don't disagree. I agree.
There are 1,000 ways to skin a cat. There are 1,000 ways to manipulate, to change, to segment, to personalize a move that you like. So if that's a Happy Feet, like if that's the Florida back handspring or the Rocksteady back handspring by way
of Kenny.
It's Kenny.
It's Kenny. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, just watch Beat Street. He does that to donkey kicks.
But I'm just saying, people are like, "Oh wow, this cool person does it. Okay, now let me add it. Now I'm cool, but let me add like 5 other cool things." That's where we're at.
I'm with you, yo. I'm with you.
That's just
I'm with you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm not against Jay. I'm not against you.
Yes, you are, man.
I'm not against you. All right, let's watch the finals for the men's division.
Okay.
Silver and gold, hailing from Kissimmee, Florida. We got my man Victor. Then from Houston, Texas, we got my man Jeffro.
Texas, partner.
Texas. Shout out
Jeffro's such a nice guy, man.
Yeah,
I feel like Vic is too, man. These are 2 nice guys right there.
Very nice guys.
USA! So Jeffro got a little more of the dark triad though in him, man. He got a little more battle in him. He got a little more killer in him.
Say that again?
No, I said Jeffro got a little more of the killer in him. He got a little more of that dark triad that we spoke about, right?
I would say he's more of a performer, more like he looks like a more extrovert personality. Wow.
Vic.
Oh, nice.
Good. Yeah, Jeff is just jazzy.
That was a crazy combo, bro. That was dope too.
Contact are a little irresponsible, but his core is so solid, man.
Say that again?
His points of contact, the way his feet interact with the floor, it's kind of irresponsible, but his core is so solid, man, that he can get away with it, and it still looks impactful.
I hear what you're saying. Yo, air rummy, boy.
So, tell me how that you called it an air rummy. Tell me that it doesn't look like a right hook right there that he could throw towards his opponent.
Right.
These moves like that, it's almost like a splat, like a suicide, right?
Yeah. For sure.
How much more
he did it to a ninja, so that was dope.
Yeah, the ninja, man.
Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. He just did a 2-step with purpose. You know what I mean? To me, compared to the Happy Feet, that was a 2-step with purpose.
For sure. Yeah. To be able to sit in a position right there too. I mean, not only control, but to control your nerves in a big stage in a comp.
Yeah.
Man, that's dangerous. So movement duration right there. You know, a little bit of fatigue, right? You went into that cricket.
But the concept of his compositions, it was just the execution.
Yeah. So that's what we're facing. Victor is the opposite. He is movement duration, right? Endurance.
right? Especially
Wow.
when it comes to power moves.
That was so dope. That transition was so dope.
Boom. Hella unique power moves, man. He has his own variations, like that mill right there, that double cross elbow mill.
He did that.
Those are so easy.
He did that thread 90, bro. Like rollback, thread, rollback 90. That was dope, man.
You know the irresponsible arms I'm telling you that's caught wind that everyone's doing right there? It's kind of that Florida arms. That's it right there.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay, so just remember me saying this right now, and the next time it comes up, I'll be like, remember that Florida irresponsible arms I'm talking about? They'll be like, okay. So just mental note, keep it in your pocket. Boom.
That's crazy.
Yo, Jeffro got all these unique drops, bro. Highly intelligent
Yeah.
drops.
It's just his execution of movement is his challenge. Because concept-wise, it's really dope. Really dope concepts.
That's what he's battling with, concepts. He's not doing like he's not trying to execute something to a T that he's been practicing. He's executing a concept, and it looks a bunch of different ways every time he does it.
Okay, we'll talk about that because I don't disagree. Yo, that was smooth. Oh wow, Victor did a burn. Victor did a burn.
Victor got that streamlined style, right? He starts momentum and he rides it.
Yes.
He's so good at it that he can present different shapes within it, right? Again, like that his original.
But this is where I'm happy that this is what you just witnessed was Jeffro's strength. Was like, yo, I'm gonna try to take this battle in a different direction and dance on you.
Yeah, and presenting a lot of foot shapes, right? A lot of ground positions that Victor's not really tapping into.
Yeah, just on top. Like he was like, all right. The thing is, if Jeffro would have he resetted the battle with the top rock. But if he were to execute and be clear with his movement on the floor, maybe it would have played a little bit of a difference.
I can't see the. Neither can you.
All right, so Steve gave it to Victor.
Yo, but play this a little bit. There's something. Let it play. Oh, okay. Yeah, a little ahead. Go to the end. Hold
on, I'm trying to look at the scoring. Katsu gave it to.
It's 3-1, or Victor won, but watch Jeffro celebrate like he won. I like that, bro. Yeah. Look at him. We know he did his thing, but look at it.
Yeah. Again.
Look at the house.
Look. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's context to what Jeffro's doing. There's context.
It's depthful. His ability to dance, like you said, like you pointed that out, and I repeat it, bro. It's such an impactful and profound idea that he knows hip hop.
Yes.
Right? That's why he's always in context with what he just did right there.
Yes.
That's what's missing, man, and that's why he is standing out. Right, he's bringing the essence back, bro. It's exciting.
Hijack's another guy that has that. You know what I mean? He has that thing, and this is a thing that's where it's like where the other countries kind of will have a challenge in. You know what I'm saying? Like for Jethro, it's almost like lived in culturally. He, being African American, you could tell it's in his household. He grew up like this.
Yeah.
Everyone else right now is trying to learn when, like, I'll tell you, man, late 80s, we all did this. It went from breaking to that. You learn how to dance like that. Breaking was played out. Let's do that. The 90s is what fused it together. You know what I mean? Like, It was the 90s that fused it together. And Wynot's a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? He's like that example.
Yeah.
So, man, that was dope, man. USA. USA, USA,
Yeah,
USA.
that's a good point. Hijack is another person to look forward in being in the caliber of all these b-boys.
Yeah.
He will be there. Right now, he's still presenting familiar and trendy shapes, positions, and transitions. The Kenny backhand thing, the irresponsible like Victor arms, like all these certain things. But he is tapping into what you're saying big time, and he does know hip hop. It's developing, and we've seen it over the past year. A big progression and evolution away from that. Jeffro, and what I'm saying, and I'm not knocking Jack. I'm just saying, just to give you my idea and my perception of the like where Jeffro is. You can't any of his moves, his positions, his steps, his transitions, his shapes, you can't attribute it to something that was existing before him. You could tell he has a foundation within it, and he's going on his back, he's going up and down, and he's going in any direction and stopping whenever he wants to in context. And he's operating under he does sets. There's no doubt about it. You can be like, oh, okay, I've seen him do that before, but it looks different every time because he understands his sets as concepts. That's what you wanted to talk about a little bit.
I want to say that he doesn't do it enough, in my opinion.
Do what?
His form. So my suggestion for Jethro was, so my whole thing is this. I just put a post too. I just put a post on Instagram stories saying in training, triple down on your weaknesses, but in performance, triple down on your strengths. So if Jeffro knows how to dance, don't practice at dancing at training. His, like, if you watch Victor's consistency and movement, I would tell Jeffro to slow down and actually create full sets. Let's do the opposite. We know you could freestyle. Give me 20 rounds of original, put stuff together 5 times clean over and over again.
He's not doing that.
You could tell.
Well, hold on real quick.
I trained
with him at YA, and I spoke about this at the last one too. He was there, and I was a little intrigued at the way he was training.
Yeah.
Not to put it out there for the world, but he was working 1 or 2 transitions the entire practice. Like what?
No. Okay. I'm not talking transitions.
Yeah.
I'm talking what Wing does, up and down sets, full sets, no music.
So what's the benefit of that, and how would that continue to separate him from everybody else? Because everybody else
is teaching yourself how to flow in a Tai Chi type movement, in a program movement, to keep a consistency where you're not reliant on the music.
Do you think he's inconsistent?
The thing is, because he relies on the music so much, he loses the form.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah, like Victor, you could tell he just does the moves over and over again, but he's losing. He doesn't have the spontaneity, right?
But what about being formless, Mr. Profo, Coach Profo?
You practice your scales before you play jazz, man.
Are we supposed to be formless? Are we supposed to flow like water, my friend?
We have to be opposite of our strengths, so we can have more options.
So you're talking about balance right now? Is that? Am I getting that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
so for Victor, top rock. Top rock. That's all you're going to work on for the next 2 months. Top rock versus conditioning. Top rock. I'll do what I said with the China girl. Why is this dance here? Why is this? Why is that? Give me a dissertation about it. And watch him expand.
Yeah, you pointed that out, and that's a good thing too. And one of the things that Why Not is good at, Sonny, what you said, I'm glad you pointed that out. Non-local motion, right? So local motion is this, how we move from point A to point B. Typically with humans, we walk bipedal on 2 feet like that. Feet planted, grooving, and dancing. Jeffro makes it look good, man. So it looks natural. So
he's not doing a lot of movement, but it still looks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would have like Jeffro train with Vic for a week. And just follow what Vic's program versus like doing your own thing. You know what I mean? Seeing how he puts stuff together.
That would be dope.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. You like, dude, I practice power moves not because I have them. I practice power moves because I don't have them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's why I mess with you, because honestly, when we are perceiving and relaying and translating information, the experience is big now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In being able to I guess decode information that is being put out when we're watching somebody move. You trying the flare, trying flares, trying halo. I said the flare. My goodness, who am I? The flare.
The flare.
You trying the flare move.
Hey, Jay, do you do the breakdance?
I've done it.
Hey, you know how you do the
school.
breakdance?
Yeah. My uncle, he owned a cardboard company, and we did the breakdancing with the spare cardboards in the back. We go behind Sears in the dumpster when he didn't have it, and we just light cardboard. But yeah, we did the breakdancing. Yeah, with the boombox and the beatbox.
Yeah, but what were you saying? Yeah,
I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying.
That was too good. You said the flare. It was the flare, dude. It was the flare. You're going somewhere with the flare.
Yeah, man.
I was practicing because I'm practicing the flare.
What you're saying right now is important, and it needs to be understood that it takes experience to understand information. Without experience, via practice, and you don't even have to get to the point where you're training to master something to apply. And I'm referencing the Carl idea.
Oh, right.
Practice, training, apply.
Yeah.
Beautiful concept, and the way you organize that thought is brilliant. Beautiful. But yeah, man, it's important. And we're at a point where it's becoming a sport where people are influencing and they're shaping perception, and you know, they're ultimately shaping culture by the judgments they give. Have they practiced dancing? Have they accessed freestyle and freedom within the different movement sets and foundations of breaking to be able to instantaneously give a judgment and instantaneously and accurately get the information that an artist is putting out? Is all I'm saying. And the fact that you practice it and what you're saying, and you have the balance, you're practicing what you can't do, that tells me a lot of your credibility as a judge, if you do choose to go down that route. I know I'm
more into the performance and challenging yourself as a practitioner, what you could do to better yourself. You know, I'm not talking so much judging, but just as far as performance and challenging yourself with movement. You know what I mean?
You need to be able to know how to perceive and how to use information is all I'm saying. No matter what side you're on, practitioner, judge, coach, mentor, whatever you are. How are you receiving and perceiving and using and maximizing the information? And the answer is, I mean, if we use logic, the more experience you have, the more you understand the layers and the nuance of something. But anyway, rant aside, yo, let's talk about some BTR breaking, bro. Let's talk about some biomechanics. Did you want to touch on this real quick?
Yeah, man, let's go. Let's go right now. What are we looking at?
Let me see if I can share my screen. I believe I can.
Yeah, please do.
All right, let's get this on here real quick, real fast, real quick.
Boom. We call this the BTR breaking portion of the show.
Yes, sir. So btrbreaking.com right here. We have this nice little information graphic right here. It's a flow chart, if you will, designed by B-Boy Why Not. Shout out. Beautiful, beautiful design. But what we were talking about with when you have your understanding of the foundation and the movements down so well that you can manipulate and you can change and you can segment and you ultimately originate foundational movements like what Victor did, right? You know those mills he was doing? He had the elbow up right here, right?
Right.
So when you're doing that, your spine's doing some different things. When you have your arms like that, your rib cage, and all these important parts. Let me see it. Can you see this right here?
Yeah. Can you zoom up on it?
That kind of is the zoom, so you're gonna have to bear with me right here.
All right.
Right here. So what BTR breaking, me and my brother have done is we've breaking down the biomechanics or the movement science of breaking right here, and we put it into 5 principles. Right. So we operate under 5 first principles of biomechanics. The top one you see is the parameters within that.
Can you zoom up on it again? Can you do that? There you go. Cool. That little thing there.
We're working on this right here.
Dope.
So
Dope.
right here is production, but right above that is production of dynamic motion is parameters. I just want to talk about that. I'll talk about these other ones. Just a brief on this.
Right.
These 5 principles operate as like an ecosystem. So the parameters is above here. Production of dynamic motion falls within that. Dynamic and static posture, how we position our bodies, points of control, how we contact the ground, and power cylinder, basically our body's core, our spine, our inner core, where all movement comes from right here. These 2 B-boys, they have all of this dialed in pretty darn good. Points of control, I can, you know, when you said Jeffro is relying on freestyle and concept, so you know his contacts and his positions and his shapes and the force ultimately isn't as great as if he would run sets, right? There'll be more clarity within certain movement patterns that he's doing. You know, that's that right there. I'm gonna try not to get into this too deep. What I want to talk about is the shapes that we put off. So the parameters. Let's see if we can get into. Oh, we had it. Boom. Planes and positions. These are the parameters that all movements take place in right here. So our bodies, right? We move at the spine, yeah, but the primary drivers of movement are shoulders and hips. And you can see, again, when you're moving at a solid core, a power cylinder, you can all of a sudden originate, manipulate, and change these different positions we do with our body in the different ways it moves and folds. That's when you get to a higher level within breaking, and that is the infinity within breaking. You don't have to only do flares. You don't have to only do windmills. You don't have to only do a cross step or a front cross step or a kick twist step or a 3-step or a baby freeze. There's so many ways that you can personalize it based on your intuition, based on your strengths, even based on your weaknesses. And we see this the most. I just wanted to point that out. One of the principles that, you know, ultimately leads to original movement. I'm going to unshare my screen now.
Yeah, that's dope.
These 2 B-boys, that's what we're seeing. They're at this high level right here, right? They're 2 unique in their different ways. We have Jeffro with more agility, more level and direction change, and he's really excelling, like you said up top. So much so that he has a vocabulary of drops that are highly advanced, and not only that, he's tying it in all together with his footwork, his freeze setups. He throws in power as well. Victor, he has a streamlined style, right? He's gliding almost in and out of everything. He's not really changing directions too much, although he can. He does some both ways, going back.
Yeah, 100.
But mainly his strength is riding that momentum. El Nino has a similar style, right?
Word. Yeah.
Shige kicks, Issei, these B-boys, they're just riding momentum. And it's probably not the best for musicality and tapping into freestyle.
Right.
As we see in the Jeffro style, right? When you can access the height dimension with his drops and his resets that he does cleverly, very, very unique. And he's really smart and intelligent with it. The opposite style is more flow, easier to understand for the layman. But again, when you're tying in music, there's a little more infinite to it. Right. And I just laid a ton of shit out there. But to sum it up, what we're seeing when you do have that Jeffro style, that non-streamlined style, where you can access height dimension, up or down, and width, and generate force and control, you can make your stuff look different every time. The other
Right.
streamline style, I mean, be honest with me. Do you get excited when you see that style?
For the body mechanics, yeah. But
Yeah.
as far as connection to music, like you said, connection to the music, it's gonna be monotonous if I see 20 rounds of it. It's gonna look similar because of cadence and tempo, and you know what I mean, and the limited expression of that. So I can
More
see what
shape.
you're saying.
Jeffro has more shapes. This the other style, the Victor and everyone we named has more momentum within it. So yeah, you can appreciate the different things about it.
100.
The Jeffro's a little more chaotic though, right?
Yeah.
But when it organizes itself the way he does, there's something about it, right, that our psyche can kind of take to it.
I believe that there's a possibility to marry the both still. You know what I mean? Like marry the what Victor does and what Jeffro does, you know, like, and make it as clean as Victor, but still as spontaneous as Jeffro. And that's body. I think that's mechanic timing, body mechanic stuff, and reprogramming certain things.
Yes.
So I think it's possible. It's just, you know, it's just sitting there and doing it. You know what I mean? And just like having a different approach. And this is my thing, you know, like a lot of people, like I always say this, you know, it's not to be let me be opposite of everyone, and like if you do freestyle, do sets, and if you do sets, do freestyle. No, learn both crafts. Learn both crafts. Learn how to, it's like if you're a musician or a rapper, learn how to make a song, learn how to battle rap, and learn how to freestyle and off the head.
Yeah, and you see guys like there are guys that already are doing it. Like you got Clayju, right? You got guys like that.
I feel like Clayju could go deeper, so I would even force more sets on him.
Yeah, with vocab for sure. He needs to develop. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
it's hard because, but you got to think about when you're doing these things that are challenging you, you're creating new neural networks. So you have access to more because you're challenging yourself versus like you're stuck in this one way. It works for me and that's it. Because like I said before, like, you know, that was the case, and I would just do footwork, man. I'm happy doing footwork.
Yeah.
But because I'm practicing flares, it's probably adding something to my footwork.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'm practicing trying to get air flares or adding something to it.
Footwork,
and
rotational footwork and flares, they're both angular momentum. Your hips moving around your hands like this. You're just segmenting it, right?
Yeah. And different, and we're using different dimensions. And when you start doing, that's why it's like always work on your weaknesses. Triple down on your weakness. You should put more effort into your weaknesses at training versus not before, like, let's say a month before a battle. No, we're talking your year round. We're talking your year round regimen you should be tripling down on, because you know what you know, your body does it. You got to challenge yourself with what your body doesn't know and triple down on that. And then 3 weeks or a month before a competition, then go back to your regular thing and see what you've come up with in that journey of exploring something new. It's gonna add to your arsenal. It's gonna add to your vocabulary. It's gonna add to new neural networks connecting different ways to open up your freestyle even more, man. So that's why I say what I say, you know.
No, and the marriage, you know, some of the ways that I've been able to marry the two, the freestyle and the sets, I'll prep sets, and the music tells you exactly what to do.
You just said it. You just said it. You won't stick to it. You won't stick to the set. You just won't.
If you treat your sequence like a phrase of music, and it's, you know, it's highly layered, right? So you got to be intelligent on what's going on with that. I have a beautiful musical breakdown on the basics of that, the percussive layers of a funk break. Yeah, man, you can slow things down. You can double time. You can speed up, right? Just understanding, but what you're saying is important, right? Training the set so well that you have the perfect conditions. You have all the conditions that will allow you to be in a state of freestyle, to be aware, present.
Yes.
Right? So if you have balance and if you have control with the way you position your body, Now all of a sudden, if the beat is gonna make me go high from a squatted position, I can bring it up real quick and I can bring it down. If I'm doing a 3-step, I can double time on one just because I know this part is coming and it's gonna set up nicely.
Yes.
So that's what we see Jethro doing. Victor's so much in control, and all these other people are so much in control that they're hitting it the same way.
Yeah.
Master Mace.
That's why I would for Victor be a different. It would be a different exercise. You know what I mean? It'd be a different exercise.
Yeah.
Like not just in like, you know, and that's why it's like, you know, we're talking music theory, we're talking different music that's gonna shape the way he puts stuff together too. You know what I mean?
So let's.
Right.
I mean, the last thing I want to talk about, that last one, when we see somebody dancing and doing it different, I feel like there's a different love, bro. There's a different energy and passion behind their execution. Do you see that too? From somebody running a set, you can see it in the way they're coming off, man. You can see it in their face. Somebody who's able to dance and able to freestyle and make it look different every time. There's a different zest.
And this is why we're talking. That's why I would give them music theory. That's why I would make them give me a dissertation on how soul music came about. Who are the 3 main contributors to soul music? And then what's the first official soul song, soul style? Then how did James Brown implement that? Then after that, how come James Brown shaped hip hop? I would make the students do that.
What's the answer to that, real quick, so they don't have to go back, or they can go back and watch the Charlie
Ray Charles, man. Ray Charles was the one who was like, why are you taking gospel music and putting sinning words in it? And gospel is from your soul.
Georgia.
That's what you just watch Ray, and you'll see people walk out like, you're doing the devil's music. That's supposed to be for church. And then you watch the James Brown movie with Chadwick Boseman, then you'll see that he was looking at preachers. That's why it's called soul and not gospel. But if you really want to know, gospel became soul because they talked about worldly things like women, while gospel just talked about Jesus. Hey, listen to me, Jesus loves you. Right? You know? So it's from gospel. See what I'm saying? Then you start appreciating this music. And you appreciate the dances from that genre of music. So I would give them that. Give them that.
Little tidbit on that. Yeah, I spoke to Jeffro at that training session. He said he goes to church, man. So
I'm not surprised. I am not surped.
You're putting all the pieces together, bro. You're onto something. I think you're onto something, man.
I'm not surprised, dude. I said culturally, he's raised in it. Raised in it.
He got the spirit. He got the soul. Yeah, man. He got the jazz. I'm excited, man. I'm excited that he's representing the U.S.
Yeah, man. And that's why it's so good that we're having this conversation. These hot takes are going to be great. These hot takes are going to be great. But before we wrap up the show, gotta give a shout out to our sponsors. ZenWorld.com, CBD, the Nano Drops. I'm gonna take one right now just to show you that they're not just giving me product. I use it. As I use it, I'm gonna do another drop. As I use this, Jay, why don't you tell us a little bit about CBD?
CBD, man. I need to do some research on it. I'm looking at the acronym right now. Do you know what CBD is? It's probably something scientific, and I geek out like that. I like science words, but no, like I said, why I am a proponent for it is we need more things supporting the culture, more industry, that is in the health field. You know what I mean? We have other types of things supporting, which is awesome. But the fact that we have Zen World right here supporting is big time, man. And this product right here, again, non-psychoactive, nothing against people who use, for their own meditation and their own practice, marijuana. But this is from a cannabis plant. There's a difference between marijuana and cannabis. Yeah, this is strictly medicinal right here, and it's everything. It's everything for performance. Um, so yeah, zinworld.com, guys, check it out.
Remember, use the promo code Gearhdz. Get 15% off. You can save money and recover at the same time.
Damn, you
And
said
again,
that super relaxed right now. You're all CBD'd
well, because
out
I
right
took the
now.
CBD, man.
You're all CBD'd out. Anyway, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yo, Pro, any other questions on BTR break-in, on mechanics, Coach
Yeah, you
Pro?
could. Yeah, BTR breaking, man. You could, BTR breaking. You could follow that. You can follow him, JASOUL at High State Rocker on Instagram.
Yo, go back to the BTR break-in real quick.
Yep.
Yo, so just for Profo, I know you've known me for we've been collaborating and talking for a couple of years. Look at my poster back here.
There you go.
BTR break-in.
Break in.
Yeah, so that G right there. Just a little backstory on my I guess my studies on that. This is something that, as it's becoming a sport, people wanted to add the G just to make people that aren't from the culture be able to buy into it a little more. Like, oh, it's a full word, breaking, not breaking. It's not slang. It's not from the 80s. It's something new and progressive. The G that was added to it is something to make it progressive as we are growing into a sport and opening ourselves up to a world community. Nothing against it, but just a little backstory on that. Break-in right there is 90s for me, and the Rocksteady panels. Break-in is kind of how it was put, and my understanding of the label. So with that, I did get some of my advisors and people close to me saying, hey, you should put the G in. I'm not. I'm going to keep it to my cultural identity with it. Just a heads up on that. And you change it on the fly, my man.
My bad.
Oh, you get me. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yo, so all the gearheads out there, please continue to like, comment, subscribe. We take criticism. We take praise. We take it all very humbly. We love to hear from you guys as we are continuing to build. We do have some, let me get in focus. We have some awesome topics on the horizon that we're putting some planning into. Yeah, we're trying to evolve and we're trying to progress for you guys with what we're doing and spreading the message in hacking, movement, and culture with what we're doing here as well. What will help us?
Yeah.
Yep. Subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram at Gearhdz Breakcast. Yes. Remember, you could go to my channel on YouTube. Check out the trades. A lot of
trades is dope, man.
Good interviews with different people out there. I've been doing it since 2016, and I just did one about the subconscious language of breaking. Then you can check out my other show on there too, the I Am Niche podcast, where you see me, Gen Xer's perspective, where you see me rant, rave, and shake my hand at all you youngsters out there, because you guys would call me a boomer. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been Gearhdz episode 12. We reacted to the World Games 2022 out there in Alabama. And that's all we gotta say. Peace.
World Hunger Games 2022.
And see you guys later. Peace.